Hey people, it's Saturday, November the 14th. It is 2:36 in the afternoon, and I'm here down by the foot of Yonge Street. You can see Lake Ontario there in the distance. And today I'll be walking up Yonge Street from one super tall construction site here at the foot of Yonge Street to another super tall construction site up at Yonge and Bloor. And I'll be pointing out other potential super tall buildings along the way. Now here is the construction site called One Yonge. It is just starting right now, and this will be a 312 meter, 95-story condo building. This one that's already rising is the first phase, which will be 216 meters, but the second phase will be the super tall, and it's just getting underway. They're just starting to dig right now. And it's quite a striking looking building, judging by the renders. Hopefully it turns out looking that the way it looks in the renders in real life. And at 312 meters, this is the tallest building under construction in Canada as of right now. There's another shot at the site, and the building will be called SkyTower, Canada's tallest building. And over there you see some cranes popping up. That's phase one of a development called Sugar Wharf, but phase two will feature a building which will be 299 meters, which is just 1 meter shy of super tall status, but still worth mentioning. So now I'll just walk north along Yonge Street, and I'll just mention potential buildings as I pass by. It's kind of a cool day today, 7 degrees Celsius. This time I remembered to bring my gloves. So we're just passing underneath the rail corridor used by Go Transit and Via Rail. Union Station is just a block to the west of here. Looking down the Esplanade, I just did a walk along the Esplanade in one of my previous videos. This dog wants to walk like a human, apparently. Or he's trying to play with his leash. And here we are at Front Street. Now, a few blocks west on Front Street is the Toronto Convention Centre. And there's a proposal there for a super tall office building, which is proposed to be 303 meters tall. Maybe I'll cross and walk up the other side of Yonge. This big building is the Dominion Public Building. It's definitely one of the more imposing and impressive historic buildings downtown. Here we have the Hockey Hall of Fame in a former bank building that dates from the 19th century. Looking east along Front Street. I just did a walk along Front Street East, which I will be posting tonight, actually. So this southern portion of Yonge Street, between Front and Queen, runs through the financial district, sort of like the eastern side of the financial district. So there are some nice historic skyscrapers up ahead here near King. Now, right here is a proposal for another office building, which is a new phase of the Commerce Court development. And it will be 302 meters. Of course, as of right now, it's just a proposal. It has not secured a tenant as far as I know. Here are some of these nice historic skyscrapers I was talking about. This one that's completely covered in a tarp is actually my favorite one. And I guess it's getting a refurbishing. It already looked fantastic before, or so I thought, so hopefully it'll look even better once the tarp comes down. We are at King Street. Just looking up at First Canadian Place, which is the current tallest building in the city. But of course, the two Supertalls under construction right now will surpass it. Just by a small amount, because this building is 298 meters, so just 2 meters shy of Supertall status. As soon as that tarp comes off, I'm going to run down here and shoot a video of this building. Crossed Adelaide Street. always like the sound of the subway when I walk over those grates. There we have a third phase of the Bay Adelaide Centre under construction, which are these two office buildings here. Looking down Richmond. Here we are at Queen Street. I think that person just made an illegal turn. There's the Elgin and Winter Garden Theatre. It's been closed down since the pandemic began. So at least those guys are putting it to good use right now. And this old bank building has been turned into the lobby of this new condo. I think it looks pretty amazing. Let's see if something similar happens to this old bank building. I think it's just a matter of time before somebody proposes something. So this whole side of Yonge Street between Queen and Dundas is where the Eaton Center is.
I have your green card.
And if you didn't know, the Eaton Center is our huge downtown shopping mall.
Dito sa bahay, dito sinusuot ko yung sapatos.
And here's the Ed Mervis Theater, formerly the Pantasia's Theater. They were just starting their run of Hamilton in February. And of course that didn't last very long, and it's been closed down ever since. The guy thinks if he thrusts that pamphlet directly at me, it'll make me want to take it. And here we are, just passing by Dundas Square. I don't know what that song is, but better not get me a copyright claim. So here we are, just crossing Yonge Street. Nice 360 pan.
That might have been before the funnel.
Well, Yonge and Dundas isn't dead exactly, but still not what it would normally be on a Saturday, right at the beginning of the Christmas shopping season. That's probably why it's as busy as it is right now, considering how dead it's been lately compared to normal. Well, it looks like the Jordan store is gone. It's being replaced by a Foot Locker. if it closed down because of the pandemic or just because everything in there was outrageously expensive. This is cool, Little Canada. This will be an exhibit featuring miniature buildings, basically a miniature version of Canada's cities and towns and landscape. It's looking into the Ryerson University campus. Now this really tall building here is the Aura condominium, and it's currently the tallest residential building in Canada, and I believe it is 274 meters. But right now we're passing by an unfortunate situation. This is the construction site of a new condo tower that was getting underway earlier in the year. As you can see, they already demolished a whole row of old buildings here along Yonge Street, including one of my favorite pizza places. And they were pretty far along in the digging. And then the development company went under, bankrupt. And they had to stop construction. And this building was slated to be 299 meters, which is 1 meter shy of Supertall status. So, a fair bit taller than this building here. So right now it's considered on hold until a new developer buys it out, takes over. But if that happens, will they still build it according to its current plan, or will something else rise there? The company in question that went under had a few other buildings on the go as well, and they were temporarily halted. But those buildings found new buyers, new developers to take over, so they're resuming construction. But this one, the biggest one of them all, still remains in limbo. See, they retained the facade of this historic building on the corner, which was going to be incorporated into the base of the new tower. So hopefully we're not left with a giant hole sitting here on the corner of Yonge and Gerrard for too long. The building in question was to be called YSL, or Yonge Street Living, if you're curious to look it up. Now, as for the Aura condo here, it's not only known for being the current tallest residential building in Canada, it's also known for being home to the most depressing shopping mall in the country. The Shops at Aura, in the basement of the building, is a shopping mall that just never really took off, and most of the stores remain empty. Actually, I did a walk through there a while back before I had this camera. It was actually the last walk I did before I got this camera, when I was still using my phone. This building has a cool mural depicting the musical history of Yonge Street. There's another mural on the other side of the building, which I neglected to show when I walked by. Because at one time, Yonge Street was lined with popular nightclubs and music venues, and was a very busy nightlife district in the 1950s and 60s mostly. But then all the music venues started disappearing, and in the 1970s it was known as the Sin Strip because it was lined with adult entertainment establishments. Kind of like Times Square in the 1970s. It was massage parlors with quotations around the word massage, sex shops, adult bookstores, adult movie theaters. And it remained that way through most of the 70s and into the 80s, and then it started to get cleaned up.
My friend, what are you looking at? What is that? Camera?
Yeah, it's a camera.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of camera is that, man? I've never seen that
It's
before.
a DJI Osmo Pocket.
Holy crap, what are you doing with this?
I'm shooting a video of Yonge Street.
Really?
Yeah.
So in about 100 years later, we can see that.
Right.
See that?
Exactly,
Oh, I've
yeah.
never seen this. This is actually a microphone.
Yeah, there's a microphone built in down here, yeah.
Oh, okay. So they can, it
Yeah.
records when I'm talking, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
mhm.
wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So you can't when you're actually walking, or you might hit something. Somebody.
Right. Yeah,
Alright, man,
it's
take
pretty
care.
cool. All right, thank you. You too. Yeah, I almost expect that to happen on most of my walks now. Anytime I walk through a busy part of town. let that guy get ahead of me with his squeaking shoes and swooshing jacket. It's a good thing he's not shooting videos, because that's all I'd hear in any of his videos was his squeaking shoes and swooshing jacket. Now this building here going up is one of the buildings that development company was building, the one that went under, and someone else, I believe, has taken over. Either that or they're just going ahead with it anyway somehow, because construction is ongoing. And actually that one there with the crane is another one that company was building. And it's just now wrapping up construction. Or topped out, I should say. Got a bit of a canyon effect starting to take shape along Yonge Street. And that will only continue to become more pronounced as more and more buildings go up along Yonge. Crossing Wellesley Street. I don't see any reason to wait for that light. And neither did anyone else, apparently. That large concrete building there, the Manulife Center, used to be the tallest building here in the Bloor Yorkville neighborhood. But now this one has taken the crown. That's One Bloor East. But One Bloor East is soon to be overtaken by One Bloor West, which is just up ahead. So I will cross the street so we can get a better look at One Bloor West, which is finally starting to rise above ground. So here's the other super tall building currently under construction in Toronto. It is called The One, which is kind of confusing because the building at the foot of Yonge Street where I started the video was called One Yonge, whereas this is called The One. And this building will be 309 meters tall, so a few meters shy of the height of One Yonge, which, as I said earlier, will be 312 meters. But this building will easily dominate this end of downtown. It seemed to take forever for it to get to ground level. There were constant delays. Construction was shut down due to lack of permits for a while. But everything seems to be in order now. And progress is being made. This building is designed by Foster and Partners. It's a famous architecture firm. So before I end the video, I'll just mention that there is a proposal up at the corner of Bay and Bloor, which is just one block to the west, for a 326 meter building, which, if that one actually is approved, will be the new tallest building in the city if it's actually built, unless the Mervish Gary buildings on King Street West actually go through. I forgot to mention when I walked past King Street that the Mervish Gary buildings are proposed at 329 meters for the taller building and 301 meters for the shorter building, so they would both be super talls. So all in all, there's quite a hefty number of proposed super talls in the city, and two of them which are actually under construction right now. So I hope you enjoyed this little walk up Yonge Street from super tall to super tall. It's kind of unusual for a city to have its two tallest buildings so far apart from one another in the downtown core. If you did enjoy this, by all means, please subscribe to my channel. Like, share, comment, tell your friends. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I've been posting daily lately, but I'll be sure to post at least every other day. And keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.